Hey y'all. Yes, was I just talking and it was muted? Absolutely. Hi, how are you? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the House of Hypocrisy. I'm Tiff. Um, if you read the header, this is a post primary, my thoughts. Um, I was in my fifis the other day. Yesterday I had to process. And initially I wanted to make sure that I was not just having an emotional response. When I was watching the election, I did say, and I quote, I feel like fuckery is a mist. It was giving, and mind you, we're going to go through because I have thoughts. I have thoughts. I have thoughts. And I have notes. So when I say I have thoughts, I'm going to just make sure that all right. So I'm trying to be strategic. I want to be mindful in how I approach this, but I also want to have a level of just authenticity. I can be honest, since 2024, I've been pretty perturbed. I did not believe that Kamala was a good candidate. I did not. Um, I knew that she wouldn't win. I also, in the book, I have her book in the background called 107 Days. I think that a lot of times we really try to act like she ran a traditional campaign, like there was a primary and, she went on. Like that's just not the truth. That's not what happened. And I feel like I have the same response because I have the same critique of Jasmine Crockett's campaign. Now, mind you, I had to wait to say this. I said it and I hinted at it earlier. Do I think she should have run? For certain. Do I think that she was set up to have the best campaign? I don't think she was set up for success. I think she was under a time crunch. I think that her seat got gerrymandered away and she saw that she was polling well. She saw that there was at least this implied interest in her running for Senate. I think that she is part of the Democratic establishment, which is why I think when she entered, college was like, you know what, hey, gonna drop out. I think James felt like it was his time. He wasn't dropping out, and it is what it is. And of that, I think it says a lot that I already know that he is politically cunning, and he's self-interested, which who's not? Like, who's not self-interested? Like, at this point, if we're going to really talk about politics, we just have to have a level of sincerity with each other. He's self-interested. He knew it was his time. He had a ground game. He went for it. He won. Right? Right. Why was I frustrated? Like, why was I having such trepidation? I'm going to show you what came on the night of the election. And I think this is what really, for me, pissed me all the way off. So let me see if I work with me.
I can't see anything now. I'm calling it. I'm recording this before it's a.
I'm gonna start it over.
Hello, it's your boy Vaughn.
Let me make sure that it's on the stage. Yeah, we got it. And I'm gonna share, and then we're gonna talk.
Known to the IRS as Ian, coming to you not live from one of my comedically poorly timed vacations. I took my glasses off because the light was reflecting so badly from them you couldn't see my pupils. I don't know if this is better because I can't see anything now. I'm calling it. I'm recording this before it's a done deal, but I'm telling my editors not to upload it until it is a done deal. Tallarico's won. He's won in Texas. Got a real shot at a Democratic senator from the great state of Texas. Great said sarcastically, hate that place. Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I didn't take a look at what the numbers were. We have every reason to believe they will. Most recently with Mamdani, black voters are Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I didn't take a look at what the numbers were in the Republican primary before I hit record. Well, maybe it's Paxton, who knows. Anyway, it looks like Tallarico's winning, which is amazing, you know? The fact that he has seemingly broken the Trump coalition, brought over voters who are not loyal Dem voters, fantastic. I mean, you take a look at the Dem turnout for the Texas primaries across the board, there's a lot of energy there. I'm not saying that Texas is turning into a purple state. I'm saying that Tallarico has the ability to be the icebreaker for an advantage, you know? He has the ability to prove that Dem power is viable from that state, which we need desperately. We need to break red coalitions. We need to break MAGA favorites, you know, fucks like Paxton. We need to take them and crush them and remind people that at the end of the day, these people and what they represent is incredibly unpopular. Trump just hit a new low today in his job approval rating. You know, we're talking record-breaking stuff. It's not just him, it's everyone around him, you know? The Dem, even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Packers, are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general. But based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton.
So that 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 made me feel away. It made me feel away. I said, "Oh, we show up and we will vote that way regardless, you know, because that's what they do, the blacks." All right. So when I said I was feeling away, that is indeed why I was deep in my feelings. The thing that really irritated me, being a person that have family that vote in Dallas County, and I vote in Dallas County, the fact that you had people saying, just wrap it up. Like, she's not going to win. It doesn't matter what happens. She's not going to win. So it doesn't matter if our votes are counted. And there's no need to woo these people. They're going to go for us in either way it goes, right? Like, what do you mean? So that is why I've been a little bit in my fifis. I thought it was just me. I thought perhaps it's just me. Maybe I'm in my fifis. Maybe I'm still feeling a particular way. Could be. Could be. However, let's take a gander, shall we? Is this what I'm sharing? Yeah.
yesterday between James. So let's talk about the biggest race yesterday between James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett, where Tallarico has won. This to me is a net loss for the Democrats because we no longer have Jasmine Crockett in the House of Representatives. And I think about this all the time. The fact that James Tallarico had already been in the race, was gaining a lot of momentum, raising a lot of money, gaining a very positive name for himself when Jasmine decided to jump into the race. And it's been reported that her staffers saw the poll that showed in a theoretical matchup she would beat James Tallarico. This poll was created, funded by Republicans, and it's being reported that Republicans achieved the result that they wanted, to have her jump into the race, ultimately lose at some point, and now Republicans no longer have to deal with her in the House of Representatives. Now, I want you to watch how Fox News is reporting this.
There's a lot of big stories coming out right now out of last night's election, and one of them is going to be the Latino vote in Texas. That's really what propelled James Tallarico over Jasmine Crockett. And Jasmine Crockett is set to likely, this will likely be the end of her political career as we know it. She had to not run in the primary for her House seat. So I imagine you'll see her leftist nonsense all over the news going forward.
Let me just say that, did she graduate from the school of inject me in my face here journalism? This is journalism. This is a message. Now, this is Republicans throwing rotten meat to their supporters and their viewers, saying, hey, it's fresh off the cow. That was pathetic. But this is the kind of message that they're running with. This is a success to the Republicans. And let me tell you, that huge turnout in Texas, the huge turnouts by Democrats in all the special elections, if you don't think that Jasmine Crockett was part of generating that energy, that momentum, that her voice, her quick retorts, her viral moments hasn't helped us get to the point where we are today, you'd be sadly mistaken. So I don't know where Jasmine goes from here. She cannot run again in her House seat. We got to look up and see who actually won the primary in her district. But I pray to God this isn't the end for Jasmine Crockett, because she's a very strong ally and leader for us to have in fighting MAGA.
Breaking news into.
We'll come back to that, where Miss Doan, your girl got today. Your girl got on today day. Yeah, so when I saw the fellow Caucasian sister kind of express some of the same things, where I don't think the Democratic Party they're not reading the tea leaves, and it's going to cost them in November, and they are going to end up spending all of 2028 from now until 2028, because we'll let midterms happen. I do not believe that James is going to get the black vote, and I don't think that he'll be able to, you know what? I hope, because this is what we're going to do going forward, I hope that James does everything that he needs to do to win everybody's vote. That would be my suggestion. He's got a great political team. I'm sure he's got, boots on the ground. Hey, he's got from now into November to gain all of the voters, right? I do want to talk about how the demographics have changed. And I did say, and I was pretty on par, I felt like the Latin vote would be the vote that was going to determine this. And it was. I went and I'm trying to find like base polls, which There's not anything that's out right now, but the demographics are changing drastically. Hold on, I think somebody's chatting with me. Hey, Riz. Yeah. So, my thoughts. James won, and all I can say is go get him, Tiger. Go get him, Tiger. With that being said, I want to show where the electoral college is literally changing pretty drastically. Here we go. So if we look here, the only thing that I really wanted us to see is the demographics as far as how the poll is getting younger. If you look and see, you can look at the primary, which I think this is the first time in quite some time you had Dems show up more for primaries than Republicans, which is pretty, that in itself says a lot, that it James and Crockett pulled out the right amount of vote. I do believe, though, had she not run, I don't think that that would have happened. I think that even her just being on that ticket actually brought people in. Here's what I really wanted us to focus on: the ages. So someone is talking about the changes that are probably going to come to Texas. And it's saying that changes in the next 10 years are going to look very different. Right now, 85% of Republicans are over 50. 64% of Democrats are over 50. 2% of Republicans are under 30. 10% of Democrats are under 30. So I just have to be honest and say the boomers will be transitioning out of voting. And the Xers, I just don't know what to think about Gen X and really even millennials. If you would have told me that the racial disharmony or just the level of racism that we have would be where we are, had you told me this in 1998, I wouldn't believe you. I think a lot of us, I don't think anybody Black was over the post-racial thing. Like, that was foolishness and silly. However, I think a lot of us that you went to school with, other people, like it was diversity. The schools weren't all Black or all white. Not for me. Where I went, I think our high school was 6% Black. So it was predominantly white. The colleges that I've attended, I am by profession a wellness teacher. So yoga, fitness, nutrition, a lot of my clients are diverse. So again, when you are in a reality that you feel like, oh, we're beyond this, and then just to see how people are, I'm just like, I'm not 50, and I know people that you would think that they grew up pre-Jim Crow. Like, it's just, the racism is wild at this point. So you want to look and see the white voters. For Joe Biden, it was 38%. They're saying in 2026, it can go up 53%. The Black voters for Biden, 29%. 2026, 22%. Hispanic voters, 23%. In 2026, the projection is 17%. Asian voters, 6%. In 2026, 4%. I believe that the Dems have a strategy to bet on whiteness. I think that they are looking at these numbers and believing that they are going to be able to win these elections purely on the white vote. And I don't think it's going to really work out for them well. Here's the final breakdown for James. He won at 69%. Jasmine had 32%. She lost, right? She lost. So we can't be upset. It is what it is. I accept the results. What I will say is I hope and I pray. And right now, under the leadership of Hakeem and Chuckles, Democratic Party, you in danger, girl. You in danger, girl. You are in danger. And the sad part is you're in danger and you don't even know it. You in danger, girl. So with that, let's see. I'm just gonna keep coming back to this.
Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I actually didn't. From the great state of Texas. Great said sarcastically, hate that place. Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I didn't take a look at what the numbers were in the Republican primary before I.
Because the Democrats, we're going to win. Like, it doesn't matter. That statement, like, this is what's gnawing at me. Democratic Party. You're in danger, girl. Now, I hope I don't get struck. I don't know if you don't watch the is it the Clay Kane show? But my good girl Reese. Mother said everything that needed to be said. So I'm gonna play it in parts. Ooh, y'all, please don't strike me. Reese Clay, don't strike me, girl. I'm in Dallas. Well, I'm in Texas, girl. Well, hell, I'm in Dallas, girl. I feel like he was speaking from my heart, and I just want to share with the people. So let's just see what my good sis said.
See Colbert. And also, I believe we're live on the Good Instagram as well. Are we live on the Good Instagram? Let me see here. I believe we're going live on the Good Instagram. We'll see if it happens. Yes, we're going live on the Good Instagram as well. So I see y'all out there. What's up with the Good IG? Here, my girl, she is the host of the Reese Colbert Show, and she is the creator of the Am I Tripping game. Cop that game right now, amitrippinggame.com, amitrippinggame.com. And if you're a new subscriber, this show airs Monday through Friday from 12 to 3. We go live normally at 1 p.m. on
James Tallarico. There were multiple op-eds.
Okay.
The Senate primary. There's a few things I want to get to, but I know folks have been asking for your opinion if they didn't see your content on social media. What are your thoughts on the post-conversation around Jasmine Crockett and her campaign?
Well, there's a part of me that feels like I'm in the twilight zone because I could have sworn, and I have screenshots, that the entire campaign, the case was made, and there are multiple endorsements for for James Tallarico. There were multiple op-eds, hack jobs, if you ask me, against Jasmine Crockett. And the entire premise of why Tallarico is the guy was that he was the one that was going to flip voters. He was going to attract Republicans and all of these things. And so many people said, I love Jasmine, or maybe they didn't love her, but we need the white and Latino voter. That was what I heard the entire campaign. And the results are in, and it was white and
I heard the same thing too, y'all. He's gonna get the white and Latino voters, but also Republican voters, girl.
Latino voters that power Talarico to the win. What's happening with my computer? Okay, I don't know what's happening. Why I'm freaking out. So, anywho, my whole point is, y'all said that Talarico is the guy, Hillary, that was going to flip Texas.
If you don't watch, so Clay, fantastic, and then Loree Daniels, Chef's Kiss. She does a show every day. They're all on, I believe, Urban View, Sirius Radio, but they all upload to YouTube as well.
And so after the race was called, I said, okay, you guys put it out there. This is a fight for the soul of the Democratic Party. I'm just going to read off some of the headlines, okay? Michelle Goldberg in the New York Times said 2 comedians told the truth about Jasmine Crockett's campaign, okay? And what she said is that her theory is dubious. The theory that she can turn out voters, mainly Black voters that don't vote. And it was actually Talarico who is going to flip Republican voters. That's what she said. Okay. There's one lady who was particularly nasty, Jill. She was, ooh. I had to screenshot her stuff too. I'm going to get to it. She's a Texas political consultant. And what she said is, before she said, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to it. Okay. Who is Jasmine Crockett? This is Evan Barker writing for the Times. Who is Jasmine Crockett? The Democrat running in Texas. The party shouldn't want to win. The party has long believed it can flip Latino voters in Texas, but an anti-Trump firebrand won't do the job. So I bring these things up because it was constantly put forward that Talarico was going to win white voters. He was going to win Latino voters. And even Black people, it takes a white man to be the white man, said that Jasmine couldn't get the white and Latino vote. Okay. And this same bitch, after Jasmine lost, said, let me go to the headline. Shit. As I was taking a lot of screenshots. Jasmine Crockett's loss could finally give the Democrats a fresh start. She said, I predicted the left-wing firebrand would win in Texas using the old identity politics.
Fresh start.
Remember that word? That word was floating. It's only identity politics when we're talking about the Blacks. Now where's identity politics? She said, but James Talarico proves the party is ready to write a new one. She said, the truth is, demographics aren't destiny for all racial groups. That's what she said. And she's referring to how, well, demographics aren't destiny, that they aren't going to vote for the Black woman because they're Latino or Asian. That's what she said. So, wielding her identity like a weapon, and for once this strategy backfired. How dare she be Black? Another person.
So again, it's not about Jasmine losing. She lost. This is post her lose. At this point, James is the candidate, right? Y'all really should be trying to one band, one sound it. But I feel like you really don't think you gotta do that, because
Texas. Great said sarcastically, hate that place. Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Talarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with Black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, Black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Talarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I didn't.
You know, y'all are reliable Negroes. That's what he said. Now let's get back to, well, some of the articles again. Let's go.
A Texas Senate race is testing Democrats' stomach for race and gender fights. Latino voters will probably decide the primary contest between Crockett and Tallarico. They were correct. This is Axios. Identity politics convulse Dems Senate primary. And they laid out how blacks are being problematic and calling out racism and misogyny. They didn't say that, but that was the point of it. For KCWR, now these are mostly things that happened before. Texas Dems are stuck on identity politics. Identity, that word was just
as if
around.
that was Kamala Harris's entire campaign identity politics.
Even though she didn't black, which I said she needed to say. Star Telegram, a Houston or Texas newspaper, and their endorsement. They said that Tallarico was needed because he's going to bring in Republicans and converting independent. That was the other thing. Oh, he's going to get the independents. He's going to get the Republicans. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. And you also there's one more. It was just a headline. From the Houston Chronicle 1 month ago. Do you want to win or not? Democrats should make Tallarico their Senate candidate. So there's a very extensive body of work around the idea. Oh, and let's not forget, sorry, I missed a big one. Yeah, there's a big body of work. Oh, can James Tallarico, this is Mother Jones, March 2nd. Can James Tallarico convince Democrats he's the fighter they need? The Texas Senate primary is a battle for the party's soul.
A battle for the soul, y'all.
The party's soul is what they said. And this was a puff piece on Tallarico. Oh, and then Jasmine is just a ghetto loudmouth black girl. There's a large body of work with that. And then when she lost, James Tallarico victory is a rebuke to identity politics. So, okay. So you're right. Now it's funny though. Now let me tell you, this is where I'm getting to. It's very, very, very funny that everybody laid down the gauntlet. Everybody drew the battle lines. And so now that Tallarico is the guy, congratulations. It took a colossal effort to win. Congratulations. And I said, we're passing the baton. I didn't say black people won't vote. I said that we're passing the baton. This primary was a theory of the race, and white people after white.
And I am there. And I've been there. I'm sure if you're watching me, then you're either a friend of a friend or you are within the 92%. And the 92% is said since 2024. Because again, Kamala was not a good candidate. She wasn't. In the sense of absolutely qualified. She was, to me, cut off at the knees. She should have been out and really on the campaign trail as soon as he got in office. Like, from my understanding, Joe was like a stopgap, right? Like, we're going to get Joe in and we're going to get Kamala primed or get somebody primed. And then all of a sudden, Joe was running again. And then we had that disaster of a debate. And then it's like, okay, black girl, get on in here. And that's my frustration. It's giving, we will be here again. At least you believe that you have the capacity to pull this kind of stunt again, and you just can't. Just like we're not getting out in them streets, because we're not. We will boycott with our money, but take all the things down, remove whatever. We're just not moving like that no more. And this is one of the reasons why. Because this type of stuff, like the way that people were talking, you can talk about her campaign, you can talk about the way things were done, but to take a whole demographic and essentially say, y'all gonna vote for us anyway. Like, why would you even at this point have a platform for black voters? So I'm going to say something absolutely wild in all of 2026. God, as I say it, some of these conservative douchebags, they might have been right, because the math in the conversation. It's not giving that the Democratic Party really values their base. That's what this is giving. But I'm gonna see if my good sister, if she agrees with me as well. Let me see what she gonna say.
White people and white Democrats all said that the theory of the race that Jasmine Crockett put forth was wrong and Tallarico's was right. And he won. So let's test that theory out. So I've made videos and I've said, hey, white and Latino voters make Texas blue again. And it's so funny how it's fine coming from their side to say white Latino voters, white Latino voters, white Latino. But what I also realize is, a big reason why they're feeling uncomfortable with the label white is because they don't want to say white. White has to be silent. So they say conservatives, they say independents, they say working class, they say union, they say firefighters, they say
College
everything.
voters.
Huh? What was that?
College voters.
College voters. Oh, yeah. Suburban voters.
Yeah.
Soccer moms. They got every motherfucking euphemism. But what they were very, very clear on is that identity politics was dead if Tallarico wins. But now that you have a lot of Black people that are saying, y'all got this, there's fucking panic. And I've made videos saying white voters for the win. And every time I say white voters, you got this, even though y'all haven't been voting Democrats in a majority or in large enough numbers since Black people got rights. This is the guy to do it. This is your great white hope candidate. This is your unicorn candidate. This guy is so special that he's the guy to do it. And every time I bring up white voters or Latino voters, they want to change the subject back to Black voters. Why are we talking about what Black voters are going to do? I thought y'all didn't like that conversation. I thought that was identity politics when Jasmine talked about it. Or when as Black people, we talked about Jasmine, that was identity politics. So it's very interesting that the undercurrent or the assumption that all of these motherfuckers made about we gonna kill identity politics, we gonna get the soul, was that Black motherfuckers was just gonna fall in line. That we are the footstool of the coalition. And a lot of Black people are saying, go to hell, bitch. Now, perhaps cooler heads will prevail eventually. And enough people who it takes a white man to be the white man head as Blacks will make the case because they were paying attention to Tallarico.
So like I said, and she not, I don't find her to be far off. I don't find her to be far off because ain't that what he said?
Time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with Black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, Black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I didn't take a look at what the Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with Black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, Black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be.
And we have every reason to believe that they will in the general. Okay. All right.
All along, Tallarico has great policies and this and the other. I ain't got nothing wrong with, I ain't got no problem with Tallarico. Aside from the media or the Black man comment that people forget might be a reason why some Black people ain't too enthusiastic about him. But once those Blacks step to the front, and maybe they can twist our arms, the arms of their neighbors, and say we got to do it, and we just need to win. Okay, but I think that people haven't figured out that something has been unlocked. There's an energy that's been unlocked, and it's going to take a lot of fucking work to direct that energy into a so-called coalition for Tallarico. Howsoever, they got it. They got it because Tallarico is the guy. He's the guy that's going to get make white voters Democrat again.
He is the guy. And I said this on election night. If you are in Texas, you are going to have to convince me how he is going to win, and Beto O'Rourke did not win. I'm sorry. If he wins, wow, girl, Look at you, Texas. Look at you, sis. Hey, like I said, Beto was a very good candidate. And I won't say he struggled. He did not struggle. But there was no way he was going to win. And what I will say is there's so much divisiveness in a time where you are going to see the Republicans come together like a motherfucking Megatron and transform and lock in. I would say, it seems to me a smart Republican might be looking to woo some of the blacks. Some of us may want our votes to count. Perhaps. Let me see what else my good sis is gonna say though, because I'm not. Let me let her finish. Let her cook.
Make Latino voters Democrat again in Texas. He's the guy to do it. So just the same way, and I was never a Mom Donnie hater, and be clear, I'm not a Tallarico hater. When I said, well, Mom Donnie, I said, I would like to see what happens. When you have a person who says, we're going to give free buses and free this and free that and free, I would love to see that. I would love to see this thought experiment play out in real time. And so we're going to see this thought experiment play out in a state where we were told that Jasmine can't win because there are not enough black people and you got to get the white vote and you got to get the Latino vote and James is going to do it. I want to see it happen. So I am not rooting against him. I am actually rooting for him. I'm rooting for white voters being Democrat again for the first time in 60 years. That would be music to my ears. Now, in blue states, they are mostly Democrat. Okay, that's fine. But I'm talking about Texas. You might know when the last time Texas had a majority Democrat white coalition. But y'all motherfuckers are going to have to work for it because they showed their ass. And it's not, everybody's just so team Jasmine. Oh, we're cultists for Jasmine and Jasmine are bust. It's the way that people feel like it's okay to make us their footstools. It's the way that they feel that they can have dog whistles and bullhorns and shit on us and say the blacks is going to fall in line. So we need to work on the independents. We got to work on the conservatives. But you black motherfuckers, you better not talk about sitting this out. You better not talk about somebody earning your vote. Go to hell, bitch. Because I tell you what, if Jasmine Crockett had won and you were looking at James Tallarico getting 70% of the white vote, or whatever the percentage, 55, 67% of the Latino vote, y'all will be on Jasmine's ass, expecting her and black people to grovel for their votes. So now, go forth and conquer. Good luck. Earn everybody's votes. Everybody's votes, which includes black votes.
What Willie D do? Earn everybody's vote. Earn everybody's vote. Earn everybody's vote. That's where we are. So go get him, Tiger. I really hope he does it. I really want to see his plans on what he's going to do to win over these white Republicans and my Latino brothers and sisters, not the ones that voted for him, them GOPers, them triple Trumpers. I want to see him win these people because if he does that, he got the sauce. And whatever he does, then it needs to be repeated if the Democrats are smart and they want to win in 2028, which we're really going to start looking at that too. Like, same team, different coin. Said what I said. Yes, one party governs much better. Now, we're not going to play like Dems don't govern better. However, they share a lot of interest. These people go to school together. These people live around each other. These people's children know each other. These people have a vested interest in playing a game. So, if we know that they are playing a game, we need to understand the game that is being played, right? And I don't think a lot of us, and I won't even say don't know, like heck, I'm class of 98. As far as high school, college, sheesh. let's see, I've been teaching yoga since 2014. It's been a minute. Like, it's been a minute that I've been in like a classroom setting outside of, like my certs and stuff like that. Anywho, like I said, y'all keep me focused. We're gonna get into civics. So here are the things that we have. What is the Declaration of Independence? The User's Guide to Democracy and How America Works. For my people, I'm going to show you the first book we're going to do, but we're going to, it's What Should You Know About Politics But Don't? A nonpartisan guide to issues that matter. We're going to dig into that. The ABCs of Democracy, which this is actually written by Hakeem Jeffries. Great author. Like, he's really good with the words. I will say that. Great with words. Actions, yikes. We can take APAC money. What's the Constitution? What's the Constitution? Because we definitely need to know what that is, baby. For which we stand, our government, how and why it works, and what matters. This is a Scholastic book. Like, if you're a particular age, you remember Scholastic, what is it called? Book week, where you would go and get your book library week. How the government works and how it comes together to make a nation. We the people. So this was updated. Have an updated version of that. The little book of the presidents. We have the little book of the Supreme Court. We have the little book of government. And we have an interactive guide of the Constitution. So when I say we're going to learn civics, and I am all for learning things at a base, which is, if it's good enough to teach your children, then it's definitely not too good for you. We're going to read these introductory books. We're going to get really good at the basics because, again, in 2028, we're going to know what to ask for. We're going to know who to look for. We're going to know who needs to woo us and why. We're going to have the language to be able to talk about what we need and why. We're going to understand the systems that work for us and why. Because, again, I personally just
Sarcastically hate that place. Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or, oh geez, I didn't take a look at what the numbers.
Because the blacks. So I think one thing that we don't really like is when we feel as though we're being taken advantage of. I know and I feel a shift in the wind. When we have terms like B1 and FBA in delineation, people understand the value of their blackness and the Black American experience and the things that our ancestors have fought for and the things that we have worked for. And I won't say the last, but one of the last people that was a part of that civil rights that really worked with Martin was Reverend Jesse Jackson, and he has passed. And the term African American passed with him. Black Americans, Sudan, Foundational Black Americans, Ethnic Black Americans, ADOS, however you want, outside of little a, African American, because Africa is a country or continent with 54 countries. Like, even Africans don't call themselves Africans. They're Nigerian or Cameroon or Kenyan. So yeah, that's dead. We are Foundational Black Americans, Ethnic Black Americans, Sulan, copper colored people. Our vote needs to be earned. If you are under the premise that because they're Black, they will show up, this is not a Field of Dream moment. It's not if you build it, they will come. And I would say, this is just, I hope that James runs a phenomenal campaign. I will say I'll be watching the runoff in between Cohen and Paxton. And I will be looking at different agendas, because at this point you need to elect the people that are speaking to your agenda, right? And I'm just not for sure if this speaks to our agenda.
Senator from the great state of Texas. Great said sarcastically, hate that place. Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with Black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, Black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against Paxton or...
Earning your vote, go to hell, bitch. Because I tell you what, if Jasmine Crockett had won and you were looking at James Tallarico getting 70% of the white vote, or whatever the percentage, 55, 67% of the Latino vote, y'all will be on Jasmine's ass, expecting her and Black people to grovel for their votes. So now go forth and conquer. Good luck. Earn everybody's votes. Everybody's votes, which includes Black votes.
So,
I don't have 20 minutes. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So with that being said, like, this is my post wrap up. I knew I was feeling away because that is what the collective conscious is going through. There is a great awakening that is happening. There are people in codes of folks falling online on code, holding the line, gatekeeping, delineating, self-identifying. That's what's in the air. So if the Democratic Party, if somebody in leadership runs across this is what I'm going to say to you. You're in danger, girl. You are in danger. The disrespect that y'all have shown this base, specifically when 92% and 82% of Black people in 2024 held it down. Where were the post calls? Why didn't y'all vote for him? Because what did y'all just think we saw a white man was like, no, we don't know. That's not what happened. We read Project 2025. We were aware of what the policies were. Black people do not get the right, or they don't even vote on single voter issues. Oh, I'm against abortion. Everything else sucks, but that we don't get to be single issue voters. Never have, never will. And we don't go skippity-doo. I'm like, I love this person. We vote for harm reduction. And what I'm saying to you, Democratic Party, y'all are harmful. You're dangerous as fuck for Black Americans. And you're playing in the wrong people's face. There is a awakening that you are not going to be able to stop. So please do not be surprised. Please do not allow, if you really don't want these people in this office, if you can't woo Black people, guess who else you're not going to woo? Moderates, dummies. All this, we need to move. You need to get your base out. Texas has the largest amount of Black people. Only 14% of Black Americans vote. Get more people to the damn. I'm sorry, y'all. I would highly advise that instead of you trying to get people from the middle, why don't you engage new voters within the demographic that tend to show up for you? Someone that is smart is going to see that you are literally leaving money out on the table. And I'm going to say who I believe that somebody is. Tucker fucking Carlson. This man has not only started in, I love those people though. That Tariq guy, that FBA, like FBA is not about Tariq Nasheed, y'all, it's about lineage. So please stop. He's not the leader. He didn't do this. Like, go all the way back to Dr. Cloud Anderson and Powernomics, and he was talking about the power of the Black dollar and insulating it. And even then, we did not listen to our elders, and this is why we are in this situation. Lord help when I say this. I'm a part of a pod, and there is a I'll call him conservative. He's not, doesn't affiliate with the political party, but he loves to say by 2053, if we don't get it together, we're going to be a permanent underclass. And now I'm going to say this. I am going to do everything that I can with the information that I can to prepare us for 2028 and beyond. Like I said, 2026, it's a stopgap, y'all. The midterms are a stopgap. We have got to prepare for 2028. And I am going to say this, as Kristi Noem got fired today, baby, the changes that are going to go through this current White House for the next 3 years, it's going to be a roller coaster. We have to be focused on what we need to be focused on. We have to control the controllable, get our information, have some Black joy, drink our water, and mind our business. Outside of that, these people continue to show their asses to us. So it is on us now to respond mindfully. We're going to educate ourselves. If they start putting things out, like I know Project Esther came out, it's only 48 pages. If you don't know what it is, please go look up Project Esther. If you are a woman, you for sure need to know about Project Esther. Please go read up on that. We're in war or active with Iran. Again, it is going to be something always with this particular administration because he rules through chaos. It is a strategy. It is to keep you frustrated. It is to keep you feeling discombobulated. It is to keep you so much information, like with flooding the zone, as Steve Bannon would call it. It's a strategy, and it works for Trump. It will not work for anybody else. It won't work for anybody else. So that is going to be interesting to see. But, and I'm going to play this one last time because we're right at an hour. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to cover the ABCs of democracy. The little small books, the one-offs, the small ones we'll do together. I am going to ask that if you're B1 FBA, please go get this book, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery, because this needs to be digested as we bring in new information, because we have to be able to process this. I want to thank my good brother Omar for recommending this book. It is one of the, probably the best book I've read in a very long time. And I'm going to start it over, reread it, and then, like I said, personal. And we can talk about it chapter by chapter. Maybe like on Fridays, we'll talk about chapter 1. So next week, chapter 1 of Breaking Chains. Tomorrow, the ABCs of Democracy by Hakeem. And it's like literally, when I say it is introductory level, and it's pretty. So it's something like this. And it says American values over autocracy. So very simple. We'll do this first. Like I said, we're just going to gradually get our way into it. Now I'm going to rage bait you one more time because I'm telling y'all, I sat with this and I have more clips to share. But this is it. It was this what this man said over and over and over and over and over again. I saw Bulworth say this. I saw who else? A man on CNN, Fox. It was just person after person, really smart political thinkers that was, well, it was this. It was this. And I downloaded this. So if I downloaded this, I saved it. Because I'm going to play this every freaking video.
Hate that place. Huge. This is huge. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this, Tallarico is outperforming in all the benchmarks that he needs to. He's doing very, 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 very well with white and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the general, whether that be against PACs and particularly Latin communities. Crockett expectedly is doing well with black communities, but based on what we've seen in the past, most recently with Mamdani, black voters are very reliably vote Dem. So even if they're not turning up for Tallarico in the primary, we have every reason to believe they will in the.
In the words of my good sis, Voodoo Doll, get me up here. Get me up on this thing. Get me up here. Girl, did he really? The thing with information is once you have it, you have it. Reese Waters did a really good. I watched some of his watch party, and maybe I'll do that. It's like every day I'm gonna bring just different clips of what different people have said, and it's not I'm not dissecting Jasmine's. I'm not dissecting her campaign. She lost. James is up. Earn everybody's vote. B1, FBA, Sioux Line, ADOS, Black Americans, ethnic Black people, copper colored people, earn the vote. We will not, and we are not, politically aligned to anybody. And I've got a feeling that people are wanting to be wooed. So, with that being said, have a fantastic day. Go be kind to someone. Go be kind to another Black man, woman, or child. Go be kind to another soul. And most of all, be kind to yourself.